Here is located at Asia-Europe continent. Ancient times the secret to be flushed. Here is the East-West civilization exchange fills the place. Here is a motherland inalienable part since the ancient times. The year passed, the world changed. This piece of vast and broad land preserved the massive histories, cultural heritage for Xinjiang. The vast desert, boundless gobi, the broad prairie, the spooky oasis, are proliferating the profound signature, all which the ancestors' eternal life did not extinguish. These two pieces of old wooden tablet not break a seal from the Eastern Han Dynasty till today, because three brown thin wool strands which tied up the wooden tablet is as complete as from the beginning. If not open the wooden tablet, it is unable to know the secret inside. But you open the wooden tablet, the riddle is still unable to explain actually. Because inside the wooden tablet, it was written in the letter called Quluwen. This kind of language originates north AD 4 centuries in India, which was popular in Xinjiang lowland and Hetian. Along with Indian expansive Frost dynasty demise, Quluwen also vanished. Unearthed from Xinjiang Niya side of Minfeng County, the seal also transmits the special information as the wooden tablet does. Chinese Eastern Han Dynasty had special organization in Niya areas, Sihefu. The words in the official seal prove this. This seal weighed 4.3 kilograms. It is given to Toha's highest leader in the Qing dynasty Qianlong 40 years, namely in 1775. The words of the seal were written Mongolian and Manchu language. The general idea is loyal old Togus North Red Leader Seal. These silver seals are awarded for the leaders who lead the armies to return the motherland, so it is very precious. Words, either on the seal or on the monument, were recording the history. It does not change with time passes by or dynasty transforms. This probably is the writing strength. In Xinjiang, the ancients left behind many kinds of words since ancient times, such as wooden slips, paper vellum, so on, which counted the content widely involved widely. They have recorded the social condition from different sides, which was the world language treasure house in ancient times. Chinese article, 粟特 article, 回鹘 article, 燕齐秋子 article, ancient Tibetan, and so on. They can all find their trace from here. This script is spelling with Ptolemy letters. The content is, the 120-year-old man, Bad Harry, sent his followers to visit Scamania on his behalf of Maitreya, has exactly the same revelation from the deity. He is pleased to assist. Bad Harry tells Maitreya Tathagata has 32 statues. As long as they are seen, it is Tathagata. You can ask difficult questions to test him. Maitreya and others came to visit Sakyamuni, and they really see the 32 statues. Huihu language script Maitreya meeting record tells us the same story. The original drama has 27 screens, and the manuscripts deposit 25 screens. It has a high academic value for us to study of ancient Huihu language, religion, and so on. It is the valuable national history. These books and drawings, which are nursed in Tulufan Astana ancient ceremony, are very precious. The important history event, the famous history persons, and the common people are all reflected in Tulufan books. Jia Zhongli copies Lunyu. The original has been made into paper books. This is one of the pieces. Yongye, Shu'er, Xiangdang belong to the second volume of Lunyu. The name of the person is in the bottom, so we are sure the student of Gaochang Jia Zhongli is the copy. Manuscripts of Lunyu are nursed in the Astana Ancient Cemetery. One of them is copied by Pu Tianshou. This script is copied by an official school student. So we can see that at that time, students in official private schools all learn Lunyu. This is a contract. It is valid during 5 years. The rent for the first year is free. For the second year is 480 yuan. For the third year is 640 yuan. For the next 2 years is 800 yuan each. And it is in all 2,720 yuan. This reflects the high development of commodity exchange economy at Gaochang. This is the earliest private will unearthed in our country. It is written by Fu Xianyou before he died. Later, people make it into paper shoes. The main content is about distributing property, such as the grape garden is for his aunt, the house is for his daughter, and so on. The will is made in two pieces. One is for his aunt, and the other is for his daughter. This is the remains of the passport signed by Tang Dynasty. The original script is made into paper booth. We learn from the remains that a group of people want to go to Chang'an for business, but they have no evidence to apply the passport. So there are 5 persons to afford them evidence. The art of dancing drawing is the representative work of a beautiful woman. At the beginning of the Tang Dynasty, the dancer is pretty. Her coat is extremely short and the skirt tight, show us the slenderness. It also tells the way of woman's wearing in the Tang Dynasty. Art of dance drawing is unearthed from number 230 Zhang Lichen's tomb in the Xinjiang Tulufan Astana in 1972. As one of the screen picture, Happy Dance Drawing, it is the earliest work at present in our country which describes the woman's life on the silk and has the accurate age. The double child drawing is the early painting for children image. In the picture, the 2 children are vigorous and healthy. The image is vivid and interesting. They both wear suspenders trousers, which are not strange for today's parents. This kind of suspenders trousers not only reform the traditional clothing, but also has great influence on the later dressing. The characters of the picture were round face, red cheeks with flowered coin. The clothing is elegant. This is the typical Tang Dynasty royal female image. These works from Jin to Tang Dynasty, collected in Xinjiang Museum, are unearthed in the grave. Most of the graves have the time to be tested. The drawing quality has achieved a high level. Because of the natural disaster, the drawing work was very difficult to remain done before Tang Dynasty. Most we can see was the mural and prosperity copy. Therefore, the drawing work unearthed in Xinjiang Tulufan area has filled this blank. It has the great importance for the further researching of Chinese drawing history. Fuxi Nuwa is humanity's ancestor in Chinese myth fable. The lady's right hand holds the scissors. The symbol is the sky is round. Fuxi's left hand is holding rectangular and the carpenter's ink marker. The symbol is the earth is square. In the picture, the circle in middle above signifies the sun. Circles all around connected by line simple stars. The circle underneath signifies the moon. The implication of this picture is abstruse, probably has the meaning of directing the soul to the heaven. In addition, it also has the meaning of blessing to be peaceful and healthy. Fuxi Nuwa picture is often nailed on the grave roof facing down. A few pictures are folded wrapped securely, places aside the dead. This kind of burial spread to the Xinjiang Tulufan area from inland and gradually become the local traditional funeral culture. This is one of the places which have the deepest affection from well-established Chinese culture. At the end of the Western Jin dynasty, the advanced production technology and the life custom of inland started to spread into Xinjiang with the Han nationality moving westward. One of them is the slave who is replaced by the bureau puppets for burying. The pottery statues unearthed in Xinjiang Tulufan area have obvious difference with inland. Inland primarily by ceramic, Xinjiang primarily by wood carving and clay sculpture. Here, dry clay sculpture is as hard as potteries. This is good for the preservation of the pottery statues. Therefore, most of them are preserved completely well for more than 1,000 years underground. This has provided the image materials to study our country's ancient arts, as well as the play and even the social life history. The colored wooden female statue is 54 centimeters high, and the whole body is carved from entire wood. They draws the color, because the grave encountered the water immersion, so that the wood turned to be fission, and the majority of the wooden figurine's color has all flaked. But from the surviving design, we might still imagine the gorgeousness of the original clothing. The colored wooden female dancer statue is 31 centimeters high. The forehead is made by colored clay. The wooden pole supports the body, and the arms are made by paper. The dancing girl waiting for on stage is a little shy. we can imagine that once she goes on stage to display the talent, just as Tang Dynasty poet Bai Juyi describes, she is dancing so beautifully that even the dragon is surprised by her dance. The royal female was about to travel riding red hours. She wears a veiled hat, thin and beautiful, partly visible. The veiled hat is used for windproof in northwest area. It becomes the fashion attire for the aristocrat woman going to travel in southern Yellow River area. It is extremely popular in the early year of Tang Dynasty. The royal government once forbade this prevailing custom, but more forbade more to be in fashion, so that after Wu Zetian, veiled hat becomes more popular. This group of housework female figure is composed by 4 people. One person grabs the pestle. One person is pounding the grain. One person kneels on the ground, grinding pan to rub the bread flour. The last person sits, the both legs stretched out straight under the kneading board. Both hands are making flour pies. The author of the buried maize pottery does not pursue for the shape or execute in the color, but for the likeness. It is just like a group of sketches which real and vividly recorded the family maize working scene. Is for the dead to ride. In the ancient grave of Asitana, we can not only find the colored wooden horse, but also find various vivid clay sculpture steeds. It has fully manifested that the tomb master liked the horse before death. Having no color shows that the author does not pursue for the form, but for the likeness. The colored flag, the white horse, the wasted sword, the decoration. This is the image of the warrior holding the colored flag at Chinese Tang Dynasty. They are vivid and colorful. It is surprising that after thousands of years in the grave, the figurines are still beautiful and surprising. Waves Cheng Fan Mao with the empty point. So the tall hat, we may remember the poem of Chinese Liu Yanshi. Came to assist the dwelling night of veiled dance school leaves. This kind of colored drawing on pottery groom, wooden figurine, altogether has 2 pieces. But clothes color is different. The body has tone carvings. After making them together, colored a pottery again. The colored hit the polo clay statue at 26.5 centimeters high. The whole horse 4 feet sour, just like running quickly. The rider raises his right arm, both eyes gazing the left front ground, wants to strike the boar. The polo is an ancient horse riding movement. It originated from the ancient times Iran and spread successively to the world. The accurate time for spreading to Chinese is unclear, but see-to-smell records has the record Emperor Taizong of Tang wants to burn the boar for self-warmth. After that, the polo is quite popular and the aristocrat. The master of the number 206 grave in Astana is Zhang Xiong. Before this, he is the general of Gaochang country. The mood of the figurine is low and deep. The horses are all lower the head, mourning for the master. This group of burial puppies picture which after Madame Zhang Xiong's death. The crown clothing is the same. The appearance of expression, actually manner respectively different, and does not have the beard. Flattering cynically, deceiving our official's general characteristic nearly. The author observes them carefully, uses the artistic technique of exaggeration, portrays life like them. The character's experience in the wooden figurine standing upside down against the bamboo pole. Its top of the head has a hole, may bring into line with an end of the wooden rod exactly. Again with a young lad's left palm docking. This kind of performance in the acrobatic program all over our country still has been seen until now. With the wooden figurine standing upside down against the bamboo pole, coexist in the same grave are the burial puppies pictures, and they are the dancing clay figurines with colored drawing on the pottery and the clay figurines in horse dance. It seems that the master of this Astana 336 ancient grave should be the lofty gentleman who loves art deeply before death. This clay figurine in horse dance, its body is facial. The four limbs are made according to the adult leg shape. On the horseback rides a person in green, making the shape of performing. This kind of performance playing horse are not recorded in the literature. Perhaps its technique is similar with folk performance riding the donkey, which still spreads in our country